You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted Best of Las Vegas. Give them a call, 702-727-9900.
Thank you for joining us here on News 25 and Ace Country Radio, streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices on this Wednesday, January 7th, 2026. I'm Mike Ruhan, filling in for Chris Palermo. In part one of our report, the Clark County Coroner's Office is asking for the public's help identifying more than 24 people found deceased across the Las Vegas Valley dating back to the 1980s.
The Clark County Coroner's Office is asking the Las Vegas Valley for help identifying 26 unidentified individuals, releasing detailed forensic sketches in hopes of generating new leads. A certified forensic sketch artist based near Phoenix, Arizona, created the drawings. The artist specializes in reconstructing faces of people who have been deceased for extended periods of time, allowing investigators to share accurate depictions despite the condition of the remains. Case number 8402251, John Doe. The remains of this unidentified white male were located near an abandoned building in North Las Vegas. The coroner's office believes he was between 45 and 70 years old at the time of his death. Nearby identification was located in the name of Richard Allen. The coroner's office notes that he carried a yellow metal pinky ring. Case number 8601804, Jane Charleston Cave Doe. Jane Charleston Cave Doe was located on September 27, 1986, in a cave or mine tunnel near Charleston Boulevard and Antelope Avenue. The coroner's office believes she was white and between 20 and 35 years old at the time of her death. She was seated and partly covered in a blanket at the time of her recovery. Case number 8701799, John Doe. This white young adult was located in a desert near US 95 and Railroad Pass on September 7, 1987. He had some reddish-colored hair at the time of his death. Case number 8901203-1401603, Jane Calville Doe. This white woman was located near Lake Mead on North Shore Road in the West End Wash on May 29, 1989. The coroner's office notes her extensive dental work and a bump on her forehead. Case number 9102892, John Doe. A man with multiple tattoos was found near Civic Center Drive and Cheyenne Avenue on October 13, 1991. The coroner's office noted he had multiple tattoos, as shown in the drawings. The office did not provide a composite sketch of the man's face. Case number 00569, John Martin Luther L/M Doe. This black man was located on February 2, 1995, under a dirt mound in a desert area near Martin Luther King Boulevard and Lake Mead Drive. The coroner's office estimates he was between 25 and 45 years old at the time of his death. Case number 0400062, John Mountaintop Doe. This white man, believed to be between 50 and 70 years old, was located in a cave on State Route 604, January 3, 2004. The coroner's office describes him as having long white hair and a full beard. Case number 0406315, John Palm Doe. This white man was found outside on August 26, 2004, and brought to an area hospital. He is estimated to be white and between 40 and 55 years old. He was located with multiple non-professional tattoos, according to the coroner's office. Some of the tattoos include the names Shirley Burke, Josh, Justine, Robin, and Rose. Case number 0809267, John Pepcon Doe. The remains of this mixed-race man were discovered on November 25, 2008, in a cave near Interstate 15 and US 93. The coroner's office estimates he was between 35 and 65 at the time of his death. He was located with a partial dental bridge and a Silver City magnet. Case number 1710702. Jane Hidden Valley Doe. The remains of this unidentified white woman were located on October 20th, 2017, in a desert area off US 93. Police suspect she was between 18 and 40 at the time of her death. Case number 1803599. John Boulder and Tropicana Doe. The remains of this unidentified man were located after a vehicle hit on April 5th, 2018. The man had a distinctive tattoo with the letter M on his upper back. The coroner's office believes he was between 20 and 35 at the time of his death and either Asian, Hispanic, or Native American. Case number 1807436. John Raven Doe. The remains of this white man between the ages of 40 to 60 were discovered in the Southwest Valley on July 19, 2018. Staff believe the man had a brown-gray wavy beard. He had a distinctive tattoo on his upper arm. He may be connected to a person named Bill. Case number 2003960. John Parker Doe. This man's remains were discovered near Willow Beach Overlook on US 93 on July 15, 2020. Staff believes he had balding gray hair, a gray mustache, and a beard. The man did not have any teeth and previously had a triple coronary artery bypass, as he was fitted with a chest plate. The man's body was located with a colorful 3-button shirt, basketball shorts, and white Nike shoes. Anyone who recognizes a sketch or has information that may help identify any of the individuals is urged to contact the Clark County Coroner's Office, 702-455-3210, or by email at coroner@clarkcountynv.gov.
News 25 will air part 2 on tomorrow's newscast. More news now. Michelle Fiore has officially announced she will be seeking re-election of the office she once held as Justice of the Peace. Chris Palermo has more in this report.
In a morning announcement on her Facebook page on Wednesday, January 7th, Pahrump Justice of the Peace Michelle Fiore said she is officially seeking re-election to the same office she once held. You may recall she was pardoned by President Donald Trump in April 2025. She was convicted of federal wire fraud on charges stemming from more than $70,000 in donations intended for slain police officer memorials. She was found guilty of using the money for expenses like cosmetic surgery, political fundraising, and rent. Fiore's Facebook announcement today said, "I am excited to be running for re-election and deeply motivated by the continued support of the people I serve. Throughout my life and public service, I have not backed down from a challenge, and I am not about to start now." She also went on to say this campaign is about resilience, transparency, and trusting voters, not gatekeepers, to decide our future.
Coming up, we have a Sleep in Heavenly Peace bed build to tell you about. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. The nation's second largest measles outbreak of 2025 shows no signs of slowing as the new year begins. Health officials now confirm 337 cases tied to border communities near Colorado City, Arizona, and Hilldale, Utah. The outbreak spans 5 southwestern Utah counties: Kane, Beaver, Garfield, Iron, and Washington, along with Mojave County, Arizona. Just before Christmas, the case count stood at 296. Since late October, numbers have continued to rise by roughly 20 new cases each week. The original outbreak area sits about 160 miles east of Las Vegas. So far, only one confirmed case involves a Las Vegas resident. 2 additional cases were linked to out-of-state travelers who passed through Harry Reid International Airport. Now the virus is spreading into more populated areas. 19 cases have been confirmed in Utah County, just south of Salt Lake City, with additional cases appearing in surrounding urban communities. In Arizona, Coconino and Pima counties have each reported their first measles cases, while Navajo County continues to report 4 cases first identified months ago. Health officials urge residents to check vaccination status as the outbreak continues to expand. Sleep in Heavenly Peace will be hosting its local bed build this Saturday.
Sleep in Heavenly Peace will be hosting a community bed build this Saturday, January 10th, starting at 9 a.m. Community members are invited to volunteer and help build beds for local children in need. The event will take place at 2731 South Woodchips Road. Volunteers will assist with sanding and constructing bed frames, which will later be delivered to families throughout the area. For more information about the bed build or how to get involved, you can contact Carmen Merzen, president of the Nye County chapter of Sleep in Heavenly Peace, at 775-910-8921.
More news now. Lake Mead National Recreation Area is getting ready to reopen a popular spot after months of restoration work. Lake Mead National Recreation Area is preparing to welcome visitors back to Government Wash. The area has been closed since 2024, while the National Park Service conducted a comprehensive assessment of damage and evaluated long-term sustainable management practices. But the job isn't finished yet, and park officials say community help is still needed. On Saturday, January 17th, from 9 a.m. to noon, the National Park Service is inviting the public to take part in a restoration project at Government Wash. Volunteers will help ensure the area is ready for a safe and successful reopening. Registration is required. Interested participants could obtain more information or register by calling 702-293-8711. In health news, January is National Blood Donor Month. According to the Red Cross, every 2 seconds, someone in the U.S. needs blood.
We cannot manufacture blood. The only way we get life-saving blood is through donations. The type of patients that require blood to save their lives are patients such as trauma patients, cancer patients, and surgery patients. So it's important that we keep blood donations up throughout the entire year.
Dr. Thomas Waters is an emergency medicine physician at Cleveland Clinic. He says if you've never donated blood before, it usually takes about 10 minutes, and it is done under sterile conditions. Your arm will be cleansed, and then a needle will be placed for the blood draw. About a pint of blood will be collected. After you're done, you'll be given a drink and a snack and rest for about 15 minutes. Dr. Waters knows it can feel like an intimidating process for some people, but it can help to remember you're saving lives.
One donation of blood can save up to 3 lives. So, you can make a big difference by donating blood.
Coming up, sports and weather. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back to News 25. I'm Mikey Ruhan, filling in for Chris Palermo. In sports news, the Las Vegas Raiders have officially begun requesting interviews for their head coach opening. Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. Tomas Hertl scored on the power play, 4:47 into overtime, and the Vegas Golden Knights beat Winnipeg 4-3 on Tuesday night, handing the Jets their 10th straight loss. Maybe they should be called Lose-a-Peg. The Golden Knights don't get much time to celebrate. Vegas hosts Columbus Thursday night. UNLV has landed a new quarterback for the upcoming season. The university announced Wednesday it received a commitment from Auburn transfer Jackson Arnold. The Las Vegas Raiders have officially begun requesting interviews for their head coaching opening after parting ways with Pete Carroll. So far, the Raiders have asked to speak with Vance Joseph, Clint Kubiak, Davis Webb, and Matt Nagy. And coming up Thursday, January 9th, it's basketball night in Pahrump. Pahrump Valley Trojans welcome Moapa Valley for a full slate of action. JV tips off at 3:30 p.m. B team follows at 5 p.m. Varsity caps it off at 6:30 p.m. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
That's the Lerner and Rowe Weather Cam. We're looking outside the KPVM TV studios. Bunch of clouds rolling in. Beautiful fluffy clouds over Mount Charleston. Will those clouds bring precipitation? Maybe. Complete forecast coming up in a bit.
Weather is sponsored by the Nevada Dairy Farmers and the Dairy Council of Nevada, sharing the love of all things dairy. Celebrate the best moments with milk. Milk the moment. And the weather is also brought to you by the Ponderosa Dairy, Nevada's largest dairy, fresh from our farm to your table.
And we're taking a look at the weather from the anchor desk. Up in Fernley, they saw 50 degrees today, going down to a low of 27. 51 in Fallon. Carson City cool at 47 degrees. They're going down to 27 tonight. Tonopah had a high of 39 today, going down to 23 degrees. 42 in Goldfield, 24 for their low. 52 in Beatty, 34 degrees tonight. 55 degrees in Amargosa. 56 in Las Vegas, and Death Valley's gonna Death Valley at 64 degrees, but here in the paradise of Pahrump. Our current temperature is halfway to 100. We're at 50 degrees. We hit a high of 55 today. Winds out of the south-southwest, 3 miles per hour. Humidity 65%, and your sun rose this morning at 6:55 a.m. Your sun set at 4:45 p.m. Humidity increases this evening to 80%. Winds out of the east-southeast, 5 miles per hour. We're dropping down to a low of 37 degrees. Let's take a look at your 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, it's going to be breezy and wet. 50 degrees with 23 mile per hour winds and showers in the morning. Friday, 52. Saturday looks lovely, 58 degrees and sunshine. Sunday, 61. 64 on Monday, and look at that. Tuesday and Wednesday, we have a high of 68 degrees. Tuesday and Wednesday look nice. I might have to call in sick those days. Well, that wraps it up for today on News 25. I'm Mikey Ruhan in for Chris Palermo. As he would say, make it a great night.